Jealousy is the emotion the avoidant swore they would never feel. It represents everything their defensive structure was designed to prevent. Vulnerability, loss of control, the admission that someone else holds power over their emotional state. But something shifted. A particular trigger activated a response so visceral, so consuming, that no amount of rationalization can suppress it. The avoidant is drowning in jealousy, and for the first time, they cannot intellectualize their way out of feeling it. This is not the mild irritation they can dismiss as irrelevant. This is raw, undeniable, destabilizing emotion that shatters their carefully maintained illusion of indifference. The collapse of emotional superiority. The avoidant built their identity around being the one who cares less, the one who remains unaffected, the one who can walk away without looking back. Jealousy destroys this identity completely. When they see someone they pushed away thriving without them, connecting with others, radiating the kind of wholeness they claimed was impossible, it triggers something primal. The narrative they constructed, where they were the prize and everyone else was expendable, crumbles. Suddenly they are confronted with evidence that contradicts everything they told themselves. The person they devalued is clearly valued by others. The connection they dismissed as unimportant clearly mattered enough that its absence is now filled. The emotions they convinced themselves were one-sided were actually the only thing keeping that person tethered to them. This realization does not arrive as gentle awareness but as violent disruption. The avoidant cannot deny what they are feeling because the intensity is too overwhelming to reframe as anything else. If this kind of psychological breakdown sounds familiar, subscribe for content that explains what's really happening beneath the surface so you can stop second-guessing yourself. The torment of imagined replacement. What makes this jealousy particularly excruciating for the avoidant is that it forces them to imagine what they previously refused to consider, someone else receiving what they rejected. Every smile directed at another person feels like a personal betrayal. Every moment of happiness that does not include them becomes evidence of their own disposability. The avoidant's mind spirals into obsessive territory, constructing scenarios of intimacy, connection, and vulnerability being shared with someone else. This is their worst nightmare because it exposes the truth they have spent years avoiding. They did want the connection. They did value what was offered. They were just too terrified to accept it. And now, watching from the outside as someone else potentially receives what they threw away, the regret is suffocating. The jealousy is not really about the other person. It is about the avoidant confronting their own catastrophic mistake. They destroyed something irreplaceable, and now they must witness the possibility that it was only irreplaceable to them. That the person they pushed away has the capacity to build something equally meaningful elsewhere. The inability to escape self-recognition. This time, the avoidant cannot perform their usual escape tactics. They cannot dismiss the jealousy as irrational because it is consuming them. They cannot intellectualize it away because the emotion bypasses cognition entirely. They cannot deactivate because the feeling follows them into every attempt at distraction. The jealousy forces them into a confrontation with themselves that is long overdue. It reveals that beneath all the detachment, all the independence, all the claims of not needing anyone, there exists a terrified human being who desperately wants connection but has no idea how to sustain it. The extreme jealousy is not about possession or control. It is about the avoidant finally feeling the full weight of their loss without the buffer of denial. They pushed away someone who mattered, and now they must face the consequences of that choice while watching that person potentially offer to someone else what the avoidant was too broken to receive. This jealousy is their punishment and their teacher, forcing them to acknowledge that their avoidance did not protect them from pain, but rather guaranteed it. They cannot deny it because denying it would require denying the only genuine emotion they have allowed themselves to feel in years, and that level of self-betrayal is finally too much even for them.